and welcome to the Power Gamer Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Dawson, joined as always by Johnny Paulus, fellow host of the Power Gamer Podcast. Johnny, welcome in. How are you doing this week?
I'm doing wonderful.
Why is that?
I'm to the point now where the only thing I want to do in all of my existence is play nothing but Tears of the Kingdom. Like I wake up in the morning and I want to play Tears of the Kingdom, and then I want to play Tears of the Kingdom until I can't keep my eyes open anymore. It shit ramps up real good at the end.
Yeah, and we'll get more into that here in a little bit, because there's an old quote from Game of Thrones, Johnny, that I keep saying because I'm so much further ahead of you, which is, you know nothing, Jon Snow. You know absolutely nothing. You think you know, but you don't. I have to get an update on where you ramped up today, because I saw you on your little emulation machine all day today.
My next quest said kill Ganon, so I think I'm there.
Okay. Yeah, I know where you're at. Yep. Because, you didn't have to do some things, because you did them already, kind of. Anyway, I turned 37 yesterday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
I'm a year older, I guess, in certain ways. All of my friends are way older than me, though, and don't want to hear me talk about getting older, because they're like, fuck you, dude. We're all in our 40s. I'm like,
yeah,
how did
37 ain't shit, bro.
How did that happen? Why did all my friends happen to be older, as well as my wife? Just I guess I was just born in the wrong generation. I don't know. But I had a little family shindig, and things were good. You know, nothing crazy. Nobody ever knows what to get me for my birthday, because, you know, as we run the gaming podcast, I pretty much take care of all of the gaming stuff myself. And with the huge collection of games that I have, people are like, well, you probably already bought all of the games that he wanted. And in most cases, they would be correct.
Probably.
I have so many games that I still need to play from the last holiday.
Same.
I'm almost there. I'm getting there. I just fired up a new one this week. More on that in a sec. But, so yeah, I had a birthday on Saturday, yesterday. And the whole week leading into that, I was in Ocean City enjoying the beach. Putting in like an hour of work every day on my laptop, which thankfully was kind of a slow work week. So I was able just to do it from the beach. Man, working from home is rough.
Sign me up.
So, Ocean City was nice. Had a couple of nice days. It rained some. Played some indoor mini golf on the rainy day. It was pretty cool. Ate all the good beach food. You know, the Grotto's pizza. I fucking love Grotto's, man.
Same, dude.
Grotto's is so good.
It is very good.
Did some outlet shopping. Went to the Dogfish Head Brewery and bought an official Dogfish Head hoodie while I was there. It's very nice. Kind of wish I was wearing it right now, because the AC is blasting right above my face.
So I have a question for you. When you're hitting those outlet stores, I know there's got to be like the one or two that you're like, oh, I got to go back to the whatever store. Do you have one that you're like? Because I have one that every time I go to Ocean City, there's one outlet store that I have to go in, and the prices are so dumb, and it sets me up for like the whole year every time.
I do not give a fuck about the outlets. Fucking actually kind of hate them.
All right, hear me out. The Tom's shoe store at the outlets, right there by, I think it's by Bethany Beach. Every time I go in there, I mean, it's like $150 like nice shoes, and they're like $30, and then they're like buy one get one, and you're like, I guess I'm spending $200 on shoes then, and then I'm just like set for the whole year. That's literally where I get all my shoes. I just go to that outlet and get a bunch of nice dress shoes.
Yeah, I've had that at the Vans store for my sneaks. I still have like 2 boxes of unopened Vans from 2 years ago, because they were running a really good sale. I was just like, I'll just do it now, and my feet aren't growing. You know, they're not getting any bigger.
Right.
So I'll wear them once I blow out the other pair, and I blow out shoes extremely slow. But no, when I go to the outlets, it's mostly to moderate the others in my family, because being a retail worker, or former retail worker, I have a much better perception for the bullshit of outlets. Because one thing that outlets do is they fake sale hard as fuck at outlets. So here's a prime example. We went into the Skechers store, and it was buy one, get one half off. The first pair you buy was at like full list price. So it's like like every pair of shoes is like $80-$90. I'm like,
so it's like after that discount, they're still making probably 10% more than what they would at the regular price.
Like, you got to be shitting my dick here, guys. But then we went into the Clark store, right? And it was buy one pair, get the second pair for $10.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misspoke. I don't go to the Tom store. I go to the Clark's is where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah. So Clark's, that's a real deal.
Yeah.
You know, because then they have shoes on sale also in the store. So, you know, I walked in, I even heard the guy at the counter say, "Oh no, this is a real sale." I'm like, yeah, no, I put that one together. So, yeah, outlets they fucking suck. I mean, I don't know why they exist anymore. Like, can someone just pave over the outlets and turn them into like something necessary? Because in 2023, if you want to find a deal on a pair of fucking Clarks, you literally just go to the Clarks fucking website and you can buy shoes there. I promise you right now for 50% off. I promise you. Because I bought all of my Clarks dress shoes from the website, and they were like $30, $45 a pair.
Yeah, you gotta love that.
So why do we need these stupid retail spaces that everyone flocks to when it rains while you're trying to enjoy the beach? Just fucking nuke outlets off the face of the planet. They're awful.
I mean, clearly they make money. So
because people don't do math. You know,
correct.
And like, I'm not trying to dog on anyone in my family, but it's like so many times I have to speak up and be like, no. This is not actually a sale. Stop and think about this for a moment.
Well, and I think a lot of people don't realize, like, you can just bust your phone out, zap the barcode, and just see if the price is good.
And all this shit,
anywhere on anything you buy, you can just do that.
If it's in an outlet store, it's because it didn't sell at the flagship. So you can probably buy the shit clearance on eBay anyway. But I don't know, people like the instant gratification, you know, being in the retail space, making that snap decision, being in the moment of, oh, it's on sale, I got to get this. So,
yep.
I don't know how we got on that rant, but I fucking hate outlets. And that's where we're going with this one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It is episode 122 of the Power Gamer Podcast. As always, we would ask you just take a quick moment to support our show. It's very easy and free to do. That's right. Wherever you're listening to our show, please consider leaving us a kind review, preferably those of the 5-star variations, if you would, please. As we do not charge you anything to listen to our show. It's free everywhere. We have no advertisements. So we do this out of our own passion for video games, and you listen because you think we don't suck, hopefully. So perhaps leave us a review and bring more people onto the boat. So someday we may be able to offer even more of this fantastic content for you to enjoy. I am still catching up on the YouTube videos. That is just, I think once I get rid of this old computer that I do my editing and stuff on and just move it all over to the new one, the YouTube shit will just take so much less time. But it's taking forever chugging along on this dinosaur computer that I need to break away from. So look for that. We are uploading to YouTube, so you can find us there at Power Gamer Podcast. That all being said, it's time to start off this week's episode the same way we do every week, where we discuss Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, we discuss the games that we've been playing this week. Johnny, I'm going to give you the honors to begin this week. Why don't you tell us about what you've been playing?
I've been playing a whole lot of Tears of the Kingdom. About middle of the week, you sent me a Discord message. It said, "Hey, have you finished the four temples?" I said, "No." He goes, "Oh, dude, you think you know, but you don't know shit." I was like, "Damn, I guess I got to go do this 4 temples thing." So because I basically most of the week up until like Wednesday or Thursday, I was running around just clearing my side quests, like getting all the great fairies, doing some of the Lucky Clover Gazette stuff, dealing with the election stuff at the one village, Hateno Village, and just knocking out side quests, because it was like every time I'd go into my log, the list was just ridiculous, and it was getting on my nerves. And I was like, you know what? It's all fun. I mean, I gotta say, one thing I haven't really heard many people talk about with Tears of the Kingdom is how much better the side quests are in this game. Like, the side quests are actually really decent. There was a lot of bullshit in Breath of the Wild. There was a lot of like, oh, go to this town and talk to that guy. Thanks, quest complete. And like, there's still some stuff like that, but for the most part, these people that you meet in these villages and their stories and stuff, I mean, it's all real like saccharine sweet and very cutesy, but I mean, it's very well done, and it's the side quests are a lot of fun. But you got me back on track. You said, bro, you gotta get these 4 temples done. So I went and I finished up the Fire Temple.
And we'll talk more about what specifically you found after the show. So with this game being so fresh, just a quick caveat.
No. Yeah, no.
We're not going to spoil anything, people. So
I'm not going to spoil shit.
Anyone sitting there going, "Oh shit, should I turn it off?"
No.
We're not spoiling anything.
Don't worry. I'm not going to spoil anything at all. Thank you for reminding me. But no, I'm not going to spoil anything. Anyway, there is a very big quest chain that occurs after you've done the 4 temples, and it is some of the coolest shit I've ever done in a game, especially a Zelda game. And
but I like that it's missable. Like, somebody could just straight miss that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was funny because, like, so normally when the kids go to bed, that's me and my wife's time. We sit and we'll watch a show or something. But the other night, 2 nights ago, I was on this quest chain, and I was so sucked in. We put the kids to bed, and I immediately went back down and sat down at the computer, and I was like, I have to get to the end of this. Is that okay? She's like, yeah, no, I'll watch one of my shows. I was like, I have to see where this goes, because I was that sucked in. I was not going to save my game. I was not going to step away. I had to get to the end of that quest chain. And this game just it's so good. It's so fucking good. So been playing mostly Tears of the Kingdom, and then today my kids discovered that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge has been added to the PlayStation Plus premium, whatever. I think it's on the next.
Yeah.
It's on the next tier. So we had it.
I feel like it's been on Game Pass. Is that right?
It's been on Game Pass. Been on Game Pass. But for some reason, as soon as it was on the PlayStation, I wake up in the morning and they're like, "We got 3 charged up controllers. We're ready to go. Let's go."
That's because your kids are even cognizant that Xbox fucking sucks.
Yeah, they kind of are. I mean, they go there. They fire it up to see what's on the Game Pass, kind of like we do. Just like, is there anything? Nope, still nothing I really want.
Been really upset with Xbox lately.
We'll see if Starfield does anything. But anyway, woke up this morning and the kids were like, let's
go. 30 frames per second. It's going to be great.
It's fucking turtle time. And then, here's a really funny story. Then my 10-year-old starts saying Heroes in a Nutshell.
Ooh.
and me and Liam were like, what are you talking about? He's like, that's the song. It's like, Heroes in a Nutshell. We're like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Heroes in a nutshell? No, it's Heroes in a half shell. What does that mean? I'm like, oh my god, they're in fucking half shells. What do you mean? What does it mean? Nutshell doesn't mean anything. What are you talking about? But yeah, we rocked out like, I think basically a third of the game.
Cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's just a simple 2D fucking.
It's not simple. It can be simple, but like, dude, if you get into the combo system, that game is fucking nuts.
Really?
Oh my, dude, pull up the move list. Next time you're in the game, like maybe 10 minutes before the kids come summon you to play, get in that move list, and it's fucking crazy. It's like a fighting game.
Okay, wow. Because I was just button mashing, kicking, and
there's all sorts of shit. It's crazy.
I was straight up playing it like it was Streets of Rage. I was just
it's
jump kick, jump kick, grab him, throw him.
There's so much to this game. It's really good.
Cool. Awesome. I'll have to go through the move list then. But yeah, I mean, it's mostly Tears of the Kingdom, quite a bit of Marvel Snap. I'm trying to get some Infinity tickets in the new Conquest mode and not doing very well at it.
It's okay. I'm still trying to make it to Infinite, so.
Yeah. I did that this season, thank God. So that's out of the way. But yeah, Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, quite a bit of Marvel Snap, and mostly Tears of the Kingdom.
So this week, I've got 2 games to talk about. I'm going to talk about the one that I've just started first, and then loop back around to give some thoughts I have on Tears of the Kingdom. So Octopath Traveler 2, I finally fired up that game and have started it. I've been playing as the thief, and being a vet of the first game, I know exactly how I'm going to deal with this game. So for those unfamiliar with the Octopath Traveler series, number one, the 2 games are completely unrelated because number 2, all 8 characters in each of the games are completely unrelated, and it's just a series of vignettes. Completionists will play through the full story of all 8 characters, and God have mercy on your soul if that's how you choose to play this game.
Yeah.
I learned around the 50-hour mark of my time with Octopath Traveler 1 that you are your starting character, and credits are locked behind your starting character's story. And you can only ever have 4 party members in your team at a given time, which means only 4 party members in your team ever gain experience of any sort at any time. So the way to play the game, at least, and this is just me talking, I mean, I'm sure there's other people that have conflicting views, but the Mike Dawson way, which is beat the game in a way that is the most efficient way possible, is develop an intelligent team of 4 members that you can beat the game with. So you need a utility, you need a mage, you need a healer, and you need a tank.
Yep.
So the thief, always to me the best utility because you can steal items from all the town members, which gives you a huge advantage in the game.
Yep.
The mage, because they can use all the spell types, which, like, the whole damage system is based on figuring out people's weaknesses to either fire or ice or lightning or dark magic or light magic, etc. And then the different weapon types. So knives, swords, axes, bows, staff, etc. So as long as you build your team in a varied way, like with those 4 classes, you can death march through the game and have a great time with it versus being annoyed that you're having to constantly loop back and level people up to. It was a mess. So pick your core 4, march through the game, and then essentially if you want to keep going and do all 8 characters, you're just going to start the game fucking over again once you've cleared that first run is how it works, because you can't take your starting character out of the party until you finish their story. So just some tips on Octopath Traveler. I'm about 3 hours in. They've really upped the ante on the stories, which is great because they were already fantastic in the first game.
Yeah.
I just did this like vignette that, like, the guy's intro story was 2 hours long. It was a fucking prison break sequence that was amazing.
Wow.
So really enjoying Octopath Traveler 2. It was so nice to hear that music again. The game is just great. I mean, definitely play it. It doesn't matter what you play it on because it's the Sprite 2.5D whatever that Square has been pushing a lot.
Such a cool art style in those games.
It's gorgeous. But that also means it runs perfect on anything. Are the games as good as Triangle Strategy? No. So if you haven't played Triangle Strategy, please. That was one of the best games I've ever played, but they're right there underneath it. They're really good. So Octopath Traveler 2 Initiated. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some great news to share. I have beaten The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I have completed the game. My playthrough was 85 hours long. And as tradition dictates, since I've completed the game, I would like to share my closing thoughts about the game with you all. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is a special product. It's a special game. It's probably the most significant game release in, the past 20 years. There's really... It's unfortunate that Breath of the Wild exists. And I felt that way when that game came out because it really didn't connect to me. It felt thin. And, I played that game recently. And it's pretty thin. I mean, you got the 4 dungeons and then you go to the boss and kill the boss and that's it. And there's this great open world, but nothing's really perfect about it, to me. In Breath of the Wild, there was such a great foundation put in there. And I can't urge enough that if you didn't really settle well with Breath of the Wild, that Tears of the Kingdom addressed every single thing I disliked about that game, made it better or on par with my expectations, from the weapon degradation to the complete lack of story, where there wasn't really foundations to really connect with the characters in the game. This game, if you go through and watch the cinematic sequences, it watches like a fucking movie. It's absolutely incredible. The story writing on this game, I could talk about for hours. It's just some of the best I've ever seen. It is the best I've ever seen in a game. We're rounding up things like Horizon when I'm talking about this. The way that they thought of this story, leaning on old Zelda lore and bringing it into a cohesive world where all these things connect. Ocarina of Time has always kind of been my standard in the series. And as the name suggests, in Ocarina of Time, it introduces sages, it introduces that you move through time, you play as Child Link, you play as Adult Link. Those are all big pieces of the Zelda world. And this doesn't just respect that, it fully embraces it. What's also interesting with Tears of the Kingdom is that whereas it embraces the past, it's not suffocated by it. They never talk about the Triforce in this game.
Not once.
Not once. From start to finish. We just understand the Triforce as Zelda fans. That Link is courage, Zelda is wisdom, and Ganon is power. And that always brings those three together. They didn't have to beat us over the head with that as the plot line of the game. The plot line in this, the stakes are so much higher in Tears of the Kingdom. And the way that they execute the story in the present and in the past and bring them all together to where there really isn't a present and past by the time that you complete the game. It's just one story that you've played through. Is incredible, and Zelda truly is the main character of this game. Which is, she's always just kind of been someone in distress, but in this game, she's the fucking mastermind.
Yep.
Behind everything. And the way they do it, and the way they tie it all together, and the way that they end it is cohesive, it's brilliant, it's really intelligent. And I mean, just top to bottom, there's nothing else like this that exists. There's nothing else like this that exists. You can look through all the Final Fantasy games, all the Zelda games, all the Metroid games. You fucking name it. There's nothing on this level that exists outside of Tears of the Kingdom. So if you're sleeping on this game, or you're like, oh, it's on the Switch, I don't want to play a Switch game. brings me to my next point, the performance of the game. It's running on a Switch. It looks better than so many other games coming out on these high-powered consoles. The art is done so perfectly within the bounds of that console. It's just things that can't be done with brute force. And that's unfortunate that so many game developers are like, let's push onto the newest Unreal Engine. And it's like, man, just with smart decisions in art, you can do so much more, and it have so much better meaning and be so much more pleasant to look at and experience. And Christ almighty, we haven't even gotten into the game mechanics, which are the deepest in any game that I've ever played before, because you have so many, I mean, things that just don't exist in other games. You can build fucking anything in this game.
Yeah.
And it's an engine that works. It's an absolutely mind-blowing experience from the time that you turn it on to the time that the credits roll to the time that you watch the post-credit. Yes, there's a post-credit. Please don't turn off your fucking console after the credits roll, or you are going to severely the fuck miss out. It's a perfect game. And that is why Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is the first time I will ever issue a perfect score of 10 out of 10. This game is flawless in every possible, conceivable way. Could I nitpick about some things? I could, but it's so unobjective to do so when you're looking at this masterpiece. This game is a perfect game. It's better than The Last of Us. It's better than all the Metroids. It's better than anything else that you could invest your time in. This game is literally a 10 out of 10, which I've never given before, and I will probably not give for another 20 years. So I can't recommend this game strongly enough. I don't think it matters who you are, what age you are, what you're into. This is a perfect gaming experience. It's on the most affordable gaming console on the market. There's absolutely no reason to not play Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So Tears of the Kingdom, 10 out of 10, and I have completed it. Johnny, you look like you're very pleased with my scoring.
No, I concur. I completely agree. And I'll go on one little tangent, and then we can move on to the next thing. While I was on the quest chain that I will not spoil, it sort of felt like even after 80 hours, or I think I'm at 70 hours, 70-ish hours, it finally, the game just went, okay, you got to figure this shit out. And if you need to build something to get something to go someplace, I'm not even going to give you the materials. You've been to enough Sky Islands. You've got enough shit. You know how to fucking build it. You know how the physics works. Build a thing that will do the thing that you need to accomplish. And it doesn't outright tell you that, but it tells you that in the way that you get to a place, you need to do something, and there's a scarcity of materials to do what you need to do. And you go, well, okay, I've got some fans, and I've got some this, and I've got some that. Let me just tinker this together, and okay, we're taking flight. All right, we're good. This might do what I need to do. And it's so freeing, and this game inspires creative thinking unlike any game that I've ever played ever. And that includes games like Minecraft and shit. I mean, this game is... The building is insane. And I really sincerely hope that when they announce DLC and release DLC, I hope they make a creative mode for this game.
So I do want to touch on something you just said there, which
sure,
is the reason why Elden Ring was such a great game, right? And the reason why people are like, Elden Ring is the new benchmark. It's surpassed Breath of the Wild. That's what people were saying when the game came out. And what really made that game great was that it didn't hold hands. It didn't waypoint you everywhere that you needed to go. It just kind of gave you suggestions. And, I mean, this game does that. Yeah, it's got some quests where it's like, go here, and you get there. But then it's like, well, you kind of have to figure it out. But a few of the figure amounts are like 3-hour long quests that you wind up running into, and there's not a single waypoint the whole way. It's just, but it's built so perfectly and so expertly that you'll get it. You'll get it. And it feels rewarding unlike anything else when you do. Because the scope of what you've done, like if you compare the scope of what you're talking about to literally fucking anything in Elden Ring, and it just blows it away. I mean, it's and that's saying something, because Elden Ring I thought was fantastic. And I love that about it, that it was just, well, you've spawned in the world, figure it out. And Tears of the Kingdom has that to it. And that's kind of something that I miss from games. You know, like when I play a Far Cry game, it's go here, go here, go here, go here, or an Assassin's Creed game. Here's the point, here's the point, here's the point, here's your checklist. And Tears of the Kingdom kind of strikes that perfect balance between, you know, an Assassin's Creed that has the list of things to do, where you know exactly where everything is. You know, that's the one extreme, versus Elden Ring, which just says, you're here, figure it out. It gets that balance perfect between the two, and that's really special.
That's a really good point, because, I mean, when we talked about Elden Ring and I talked about my frustrations with Elden Ring, that was one of the things that bugged me, is like, people be like, oh, but if you talk to that guy at that town, he says that there's a legend about a blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to know that I need to talk to that guy? I don't have any idea. Tears of the Kingdom's solution for that, and I know this because I just did a ton of the side quests this week, is you pull up your adventure log and go, oh, that's right, I didn't finish that up. And you select it, it marks a checkpoint, you go to the town, what is the checkpoint? Is it the thing that I'm supposed to do? No, it's the person that I talked to that gave me that quest. And they say, I think I heard something in the valley, just north of here, just south of the mountain. There's a little spot under the bridge. And you're like, oh, okay, so I got to go north. I got to find the, okay, it's, you know, like, but it's not checkpointed. It's the person that's telling you what to do or where to go or what they heard or whatever.
You have to explore.
That's the checkpoint, is the person that you talk to. It's not marking exactly where to go. And that's it. You're right. It makes the exploration a lot
There's
more
more similarities too. Like, you know, in Elden Ring, the map isn't all open to you at once. It's the same thing in Tears of the Kingdom. It was the same thing in Breath of the Wild. But I like, especially in contrast to Breath of the Wild, where it was the same shit every time. Climb up to the top, hit the button, boom. In Tears of the Kingdom, it gets that balance right again, where you get to the thing to unlock that piece of the map. And maybe at this one, there's something wrong with the tower. And you get one of those open-ended quests of, well, I need a thing, but here's a tip, but oh.
Yeah.
And then you got to figure it out. And it's fun. Like, being sent to actually have to explore makes the world feel more tangible versus just being checkpointed as to exactly where to go. Yeah, and I mean, that's just kind of one small detail, a design choice they made in the face of everything else that I've said. It's an absolutely incredible game. So I think you'll probably agree with me when you finish that this should be a 10 on your radar, or at least something close to it. So yeah.
Yeah, our 2023 game of the year has been released, I think. We pretty safe to say.
Yeah, it's a rough year for some really great games.
I know, that's what I was going to say. I feel bad for all these other developers.
Remember,
the people that did.
I scored Jedi Survivor 9.5. That's usually enough to get it done.
Yep, not this year.
Not this year, man. Starfield has got a tall fucking task. Tall. Although I'm still really, really excited for that game. So,
likewise.
That wraps up what we've been playing this week. Next up, I'm going to bounce around a little bit here. Actually, no, I'm not. This will be quick. So, Metal Gear Solid, one of my favorite game series of all time, because I am a stealth dude. I love my stealthing games. Well, we are certainly very aware of the upcoming remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. It was announced the same time that Metal Gear Solid 3 remake was announced. That we would also be seeing a what was called the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, which was going to be a release that included Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, so those are the old NES games, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and Snake's Revenge. So all of those were going to be in that bundle. So some guy some guy on Twitter, Nitroid, who you may have seen their work before, but did some data mining on the website for the Metal Gear collection, and found all of the placeholders for Metal Gear Solid 4, Peace Walker, and Metal Gear Solid 5. So it seems like we already know that there's another volume coming, otherwise it wouldn't be volume 1. But we've basically gotten unintentional confirmation that Metal Gear Solid 4 is finally, and this is really the big news, is Metal Gear Solid 4 is going to be able to finally drag its ass off the PlayStation 3, where it runs like absolute fucking trash. I don't know if anyone remembers, but Metal Gear Solid 4 plays like complete ass. It runs like total dog shit on the PS3. It sucks. And it's the only place you can play it other than through emulation, which emulating that game is a huge pain in the dick, and it still doesn't work that great. So I am very curious to see what an actual Konami-backed port of Metal Gear Solid 4 off the PS3 is going to look like. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to strap in and watch hour-long cutscenes, literally, because Metal Gear Solid 4 looks like it's finally going to get its ass off of the PlayStation 3 at some point. Probably not anytime soon, but at some point. I would say after this 3 remake comes out, would be my suspicion. Just wanted to mention that, Johnny. I don't know if you have anything to add there other than...
I have a confession to make.
Yes.
The only Metal Gear Solid game that I have the only Metal Gear game that I have rolled credits on is Metal Gear Solid. That is it. I have never beaten any of the other ones. I've dabbled in a lot of them, and I've frankly lost interest in a lot of them. But I have to give Konami major props for this, and I wish more game developers would do what they've been doing. They've been doing a really good job at cataloging their old shit. Like, I'm a big Castlevania fan. I own all of the Castlevania collections on Steam. Because it's like $20 and I have like 5 Game Boy Advance Castlevania games. Done. Let's go. You know, so I wish more developers would respect their old shit and make it like this. You know, I mean, we rant enough about Nintendo not doing this, but like, people need to do this. They need to say, here's 4 of our old games for $30.
Well, now your admission's not that crazy. You'll remember a year ago, and listeners, you'll remember too. Almost around this time last year, I sat down and did my first playthrough of Metal Gear Solid on the PS1, on an actual PS1. I own the entire Metal Gear series, but even of last year, had never played any of them other than the NES ones, which I still think are fantastic, even though they're really fucking hard. So don't feel bad, Johnny.
Okay, I feel a little better.
Yeah, I'm really not that excited about this Volume 1 collection. I'm more excited about, for when I get to 4, not having to deal with my PS3.
Well, I mean, I will probably play Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 on this collection, because it's been a very long time since I played the first Metal Gear Solid, and I really liked it a lot back in the day.
And my plan was to have already had beaten them by this point in the year, but then Silent Hill happened. Like, I just went off on another tangent.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like deep into Silent Hill. Then all these fucking games started coming out. And trying to clear through a backlog.
Yeah, no, it's rough.
I just need a clone of myself that I can plant in front of a TV 24/7.
Amen.
That would be great. But because I missed a lot of console shit in the early 2000s. Thanks to PC gaming.
Yep.
Namely StarCraft, World of Warcraft, and
Diablo.
And then in the early 2010s, I missed a lot thanks to Destiny. So I now fucking loathe games as a service and MMO style games, which anyone that listens to the show has heard me rant about how much I fucking hate those kinds of games because they make you miss all of the excellence that actually occurs. Think about what's going to happen in 10 years when all the Warzone bros fucking wake up and realize that they've been running around the same city, parachuting on the same building.
Yep.
And they just missed all of these amazing games.
I can't judge them. I can't, because we did the same shit.
But that,
you know what I mean?
No.
Dude,
I can judge them because I did the same shit. It's
yeah,
like,
I guess that's true.
When I'm as a parent, right? You always try and tell your kids, don't repeat my mistakes. So like, I want them to hear me, and they're not listening to the show because they don't give a fuck about video games. They're just sitting around playing Warzone all day. Yeah. And that drives me nuts. But yeah, I mean, think about it. All of these guys are going to come out of their fucking Call of Duty coma and go, holy shit, what did I miss?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I played probably 2 years straight of just League of Legends.
Oh, dude, I was right there with you. I was threshing it on the bottom lane with you. You know.
Yeah.
I tend to burn out on that shit quicker than you though, which has served me well, and probably why I've amassed this giant collection of shit.
Well, I think through us doing the podcast and I think I've kind of seen the error in that, and just it's so much more fun to get a game and live nothing but that game for a couple weeks until you've experienced everything that there is to experience, and you feel the triumph of the credits rolling, and cool, what's next? Move on to the next one.
Well, I think the fact that we keep that list every year, because we're on our third year of the list, where I keep diligent track of everything you rolled credits on that year. I think that helps, because it's like, damn, I need to beat some games. I need to roll some credits, man.
Amen.
That and then we have the fantasy draft. You know, you have all these things where it's like, well, I gotta play this game. I fucking drafted him on my fantasy squad. Fuck you, Benedict Fox, you piece of shit.
Yes.
I'm so excited for that game, and then it just sucked all of the dicks at once.
It sucked every last one. It didn't leave a single one for anybody else.
Simultaneously. It just
just said, no. Bring all the dicks in here. They're all mine.
All at once.
Let's line them up.
Try not to suck any dick on your way to the Game Awards. P.S. You're not getting one. Fuck that game. So we've had a lot of blockbuster showcases lately. Sony, Microsoft, both put on really fantastic showcases. I mean, Sony's was next level. Microsoft's was great. I loved all the just that big dedicated block for Starfield. And these kind of direct showcases have kind of, I mean, obviously they killed E3. We just had the news come out this week that this year and next year are officially canceled. We did an episode, a few months back, E3 is dead.
Yeah, we said RIP E3. We were right.
Well, I didn't think there was anything else to say about it, but apparently there needed to be a news article that wasn't happening this year. But We're seeing why these showcases have gotten so much better than they were in the height of the pandemic, because now games are actually coming out. And yeah, it seems as though summertime, which is the right time for these manufacturers to be unloading their load to ramp up the excitement for holiday season. And I gotta say, man, Nintendo did not want to be upstaged. They were on it with this Nintendo Direct. I think this is one of the best Nintendo Directs that we've had. Just in terms of, hey, here's a game, here's a release date, boom. And yeah, so there's some cool things to talk about in this. I'm going to skip to the most important one for me first, which is kind of out of order, but fuck it, I don't care. Because one of my all-time favorite games, and certainly if you went back in time to the 90s and asked Mike Dawson, like, what are your two favorite games in like 1995? I'd say Chrono Trigger, Super Mario RPG. It's Super Mario RPG. When they pulled up, when that Super Nintendo intro screen came in and the music.
Oh, bro. Mm-hmm.
And then they just kind of faded into the HD graphics. Oh my God, I lost my mind, dude. Super Mario RPG is like, it's dumb how amazing this game is and just how perfect it is. It's sort of like Andor, right? What Andor is to Star Wars, and if you think Andor is trash, just fucking...
You didn't watch it. It's fine. Go watch it.
Just slap yourself for me.
Yeah, amen.
It's like the Andor of the Mario series. It's so good. It could be anything. It didn't need to be a Mario. It could literally be fucking anything. And it wouldn't matter. It just happens to be a Mario game. It's like one of the most astoundingly perfect RPGs of all time. I've never seen an RPG nail action isometric gameplay like Super Mario RPG does. And dude, I am a master of the timed button hits for the combos and blocking. I'm an absolute, I don't ever miss them. So I can't wait to be tapping the rhythm of those hits again when you're kicking the shells or doing Gino's Star Shot. Oh my God, it's coming out this year. It's out in November.
I know.
Super Mario RPG is being remade in 2020 fucking 3, and I
know, my kids
could not
get to play
be more excited. So November 17th, 2023, the best Nintendo RPG, like traditional RPG, is coming. It and this is not fake. It's like real. I'm so blown away by this. Johnny, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with pretty much everything you said there. I would say give us an Earthbound remake. I would throw that in.
Earthbound's great. This shit's all over it.
I don't know, man.
It's so good.
It is very, very good. I'm not saying it's not. I love Super Mario RPG, and I'm excited that they're doing a remake. Day one for me. Cannot wait.
No,
it looks great, dude. It looks.
I need to order my physical copy now because I have one of those fucky feelings that this is going to be one of the ones that, you know, like every time like a cool remake comes out from Nintendo, they sort of give us the bad end of the D, you know, like they did with the Metroid one. It's like, that didn't sell like crazy numbers, and it seems like they almost like artificially fuck over the initial release to like get it in the media and get people like in this buying frenzy and like selling copies for $400. I so think that's going to happen with this, so I need to order my copy right away. Maybe this is their game plan, right? This was the end game. They want to take people like me and be like, oh, we're going to get him to fucking pre-order. Let's give him 2 cycles of amazing remakes where we intentionally limit the quantities. He'll pre-order. He'll do it. Mallow, dude. Mallow. the long forgotten Nintendo character. Where's Mallow been at?
Mallow has been, yeah.
Mallow is amazing. And like to my knowledge, he was only in this game. I'm so excited for Super Mario RPG. Okay. Gotta focus. We gotta get back on track here because Super Mario Brothers, the hallmark franchise of Nintendo, the king, if you will, is coming back in releases that I always play, which is the 2D Super Mario games. Because as great as the 3D games have been, man, the 2D games are just where it's at. And I get really excited that they still deliver AAA 2D Mario experiences. So, Johnny, I ranted enough about Mario RPG. I see you nodding your head. Super Mario Brothers Wonder is coming out to the Switch this year, October 20th. It'll be released. So
yeah,
it's very close. What are your thoughts on Mario Brothers Wonder?
The thing that looks great about Mario Brothers Wonder is the animation is so fucking cool. Like when he runs into the pipe and his hat is behind and his hand grabs the thing, and then when he comes out of the pipe, he sort of peeks around. They've given a lot of love to the animation here, and I think since it's a 2D game, they can put even more fidelity and more attention to the quality of the animations because, you know, there's not this huge 3D spanning open world thing. So they can just make the characters look as good as possible. And I've seen a bunch of YouTubers and shit are freaking out over the quality of the animations in this game. Dude, I'm here for it, man. You already know, I've said before, Mario is a franchise that has never missed ever. And so yeah, I mean, sign me the fuck up. I mean, I'd be down for whatever Mario game they're doing, but I didn't see another 2D game coming, so I'm excited. I thought they were going to do Odyssey 2. I thought that seemed like the obvious choice, but I'm glad they didn't go with the obvious choice. Super Mario Brothers Wonder looks awesome.
I think we only get a 3D Mario game once per generation. I think that's a rule.
Super Mario Galaxy
was the exception.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, yeah, it's just been one.
Yep.
And Galaxy 2 was like really at the end of the Wii's life cycle, if memory serves.
Yeah.
Well, and we didn't really get one for the Wii U.
Of the Switch. Yeah. Well, no, there was Super Mario Brothers 3D.
You mean World?
That was
3D World or whatever it was called.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers World 3D. Whatever the title.
The one that
of that
didn't
game
sell
was.
until they re-released it for the Switch.
Until they re-released it on Switch, yes. But I played it on the Wii U. That game was great too. And that was mostly 2D.
So the thing that I'm envious of you for is that you have kids that are still the age that will sit on a couch and play a game with you, and this game has fucking 4-player couch co-op.
Oh, we're gonna play the shit out of this game.
4-player couch co-op came up a lot during the show. And I know we didn't get the swing around on a game that I'm still like super buzzing about. We haven't been talking about it because this is kind of quietly coming. We're 33 days away from its release. Disney Illusion Island, the other huge platformer that's going to be a Switch exclusive that also has 4-player co-op. That has absolutely no combat and a Metroid map. Oh my god, I can't wait for Illusion Island. The 4-player co-op thing came up a lot because it was in Super Mario Brothers Wonder. We had originally seen the Sonic game back at Summer's Game Fest, but we got a new gameplay trailer for Sonic Superstars.
Looks great.
And then a game that I absolutely just adore, Vampire Survivors, it was announced during the show that is coming to the Switch on August 17th, and that will have 4-player local couch co-op as well. Which,
dude, 4-player Mario or Vampire Survivors sounds awesome.
Dude, I will come over. We will do all of the things because you can be absolutely schmammered when playing this game. I have personal experience. You can be absolutely schmammered with this game and just wreck everything because you don't have to push any buttons. You just make decisions. That needs to happen. Because I'll probably be getting that game right away.
Yeah, I'm down.
Beers and beers and the vampire game that has absolutely no vampires in it. Other significant release details: Detective Pikachu 2 coming to the Switch in October. I never played the first one. I saw the movie, but
I like the movie.
It looks cute. I guess for collectors, they were losing their mind over the amiibo announcement of Zelda and Ganondorf. I'm not an amiibo guy. I don't want to go in that rabbit hole because they look fucking awesome, but they're so goddamn expensive.
Yeah, I have the Samus and Emmy one because I thought they were gorgeous and I thought they were going to sell out, so I got it on sale on Amazon one day. But I don't have a lot of amiibos. I think I have 2 or 3.
Yep, the new WarioWare game is coming out November 6th. I have collected a few of those through the years.
They're great party games. They're so that is a fun game to have a group full of drunken ass people playing.
Yeah, because you never know what's coming up on the screen next.
Yeah.
Pikmin 4 I know Amy will be excited for that. She really enjoyed Pikmin 3.
AKA the only Nintendo franchise I don't give a shit about.
That's the only one?
Well, no, there's Pokemon too.
Oh, well, I like Pokemon.
No.
Yeah, the one that I like Pikmin. I respect Pikmin. I have no interest in Splatoon. I get why people love Splatoon. It looks fun, but I just have no interest in that.
It is fun. I think you'd enjoy the campaign in those.
There's a campaign? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Batman Arkham Trilogy is coming to the Switch.
I'm excited for this, actually.
Yeah, I like that it's going to be all 3 games and all the DLC on the Switch. I think the Switch is going to handle these games perfectly fine.
Dude, I mean, that's the thing to keep in mind with the Nintendo Switch is that it is a portable console. So when you go to the beach or I go to the beach, do we bring the PS5 with us? Fuck no, we bring the Switch. So the fact that you and I already know this collection after 6 months, after a year, this shit'll be $15 or $20. I mean, dude, I've seen the BioShock collection on Switch on sale for like $10 multiple times. So if you're telling me I will happily buy the Arkham trilogy again just to have it portable, and because they're all 3 are fucking great games. They're all great games.
Yeah, and I like too that it's just the Rocksteady games. You know, it's not.
Yep.
There's no Origins smushed in there.
Yep. No, it's the 3 that count.
Kind of have to dig deep for some of these other ones, but one of the ones that I want to bring up is Gloomhaven. Are you familiar with Gloomhaven?
It's been out on PC for like 3 years.
So Gloomhaven, if you walk into a game store, is the biggest fucking box on the shelf. It is an amazing tabletop game. It's since had a sequel, Frosthaven, but Gloomhaven is the OG. And it has like a perfectly adapted computer version that's been out on PC for a while. And, you know, I think anyone that likes CRPGs would love sitting and playing Gloomhaven on either their computer or on a Switch. And yeah, so Gloomhaven is coming to the Switch on September 18th. So if you're into board games,
looks awesome.
I mean, like tabletop games, like big involved D&D style shit. Gloomhaven is where it's at.
Even if you're not into that, but you like turn-based tactical games, I mean, that's going to give you that.
Indeed. Johnny, was there anything else from the Switch thing that you wanted to mention?
MythForce still looks dope as shit.
Does?
The MythForce. It's the game that looks like an 80s cartoon. And it's obviously they wink nudge nudge at He-Man about 10 times in the trailer. It's definitely the art style they're going for, is that 80s He-Man era. I don't know if the game's going to be any good, but I love the art style. It's so fucking cool. Everything about that game looks awesome. That's yet another couch co-op game, another roguelike that you can play with friends that looks really cool. The art style is awesome. That's one that I don't remember when we saw it last, but it was another one of these sort of events that they showed trailers at, and this was one that caught my attention last time, and it's looking even better now. So it's another one that I'm excited about.
Very good. So that brings us to the final segment of this week's show. That segment, of course, is One Up.
One Up.
That's right. It's time for One Up. Johnny, I have a One Up that you'll appreciate.
Okay.
I historically am not the comic book nerd of the duo. I mean, that is Johnny's main bag for sure. However, for one reason or another, I got the bug this past week to sit down and read some comics. So
nice. What'd you read?
For the first time ever. I mean, I've never read these ever. I have cleared the first 3 books of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns.
Oh my god.
And they're fucking insane.
They're so fucking good.
They are really, really good.
They piss me off. They're so good.
I'm loving it. So I just got into the 4th book. Clark Kent looks pissed. And shit's about to go down. But I mean, these books are darker than anything else Batman related. I mean, truly darker. Batman is just on the edge the whole time. I mean, the whole thing with Joker that goes down in this, I was like, wait a second, that's not what Batman does. But sure enough,
in Dark Knight he does.
I'm like, holy shit. So
damn, dude, next time you come over and do a hang, I need to just like hand you an omnibus of some awesome shit so you can just sit down.
Well, here's what's great, right? So I'm reading it on a website called comiconlinefree.com. They have them all, just you click through and you can just read them. I'm like, holy, well, that's cool. So I'm just plowing through comics now for free, and I'm like,
okay, when you finish your Dark Knight run, I want you to read Garth Ennis's Preacher. That book, I'm
familiar with Garth Ennis because of his Punisher run.
Because of his Punisher run. Garth Ennis Preacher is the most Mike Dawson shit ever. You will fucking love Preacher. My story of Preacher, I went into the comic book store. I similar to you. I hadn't been in there in a while. I didn't know what to buy. I called my old comic book buddy, who's even further down the rabbit hole than I am, and I said, I got some money in my pocket and I'm at the comic book store. What do I need to read? And he goes, well, you've read Watchmen, right? Yeah. You've read Sin City, of course. You've read Dark Knight, yeah. Have you read Preacher? No. Dude, you haven't read Preacher? No. He's like, read Preacher. I was like, okay. So I go over to the shelf, and it was like 9 or 10 graphic novels.
Fucking hated that TV show so much.
Oh, I loved the show. Anyway, I buy graphic novel number 1, take it home, read it that night. I go back into the comic book store the next day. I buy 2 and 3, take those home, read them. I go back into the comic book store the next day. I said, "Fuck it, let me just get them all." It's one of my favorite comic book things I've ever read. Garth Ennis Preacher is amazing. Read it.
Well, I might be tempted to get these books on a shelf now that I'm fully bit at this point. It's like, yeah, I've got to just keep going until I'm done.
Well, I think they have absolute editions of those, which when DC Comics do an absolute edition, they're huge hardcovers with big, thick pages. Like, they're very, very, very nice books. You should look and see if they have absolute Dark Knight, because if they do, it's it's like whatever, it's like $100 or something, and you have the whole set in like the best version you can possibly have.
A book.
That's why my shelves look like that, is because I like hardcover books of comics. My one up, and this is a nitpick on Tears of the Kingdom. What the fuck is up with the female voices in Tears of the Kingdom? The amount of times that I've been sitting over here playing Tears of the Kingdom, and my wife looks back at me and goes, "The fuck are you doing back there?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm upgrading my armor at the Great Fairy," and everything's just,
It's
and
very
then,
Japanese.
and then I go to.
Yeah.
And then I go to Skyview Tower and I go hit the shop there. I'm gonna go buy some arrows. Oh, she's got some arrows. Let me buy. It's so annoying. Like it's a major nitpick, but oh my god, what is up with these voices in Tears of the Kingdom? It drives me
I love
bonkers, and it's only It drives me so nuts. I can't stand it. It fucking kills me. Anyway, I just imagine the voiceover lady in there like, okay, what do you want? Like, surprised. Oh, no, that's not what we want. No, you're like really surprised. No, not quite. No, imagine if somebody's hand was on your thigh and all of a sudden moved up a little too fast. There you go. That's what we want. We need more of that. That's what it sounds like. It's weird. It's really weird, and it's like one of my only gripes about the whole game. But dude, last time I went to the Great Fairy, I had like 10 pieces that I needed to upgrade. I just fucking muted it. I just turned the sound off. I was like, because I don't want to hear moan for the next 10 minutes while I'm upgrading all my armor. It drives me nuts.
I feel like it makes more sense, like, because we get the Englishized, anglicized version of Zelda. I feel like it makes more sense, like, if you listen to the rest of the game in its native language. So much
Maybe.
of the like inflections in Japanese and stuff sound what us Americans would say sound like they're getting fucked. Like, there's just no other way to say it.
It's what it sounds like.
You know,
what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's.
It's definitely worse with the female.
It is.
1,000%. It's definitely worse with the female
but yeah, it's a thing. So go Japan, at least.
And then you go meet. I go to meet the Zora Queen, and I'm like, well, clearly they're not going to make her all fucking moany. And then sure enough, she's, it drives me. It's so weird, man. I know it's a nitpick, but it's fucking weird.
I mean, have you ever sat around and watched an anime? You know?
Yes.
It's just nobody can ever just be fucking quiet. They always have to, it's constant. It's like such a Japanese thing. I don't get it.
And like the real high pitched female gasp, like
it's constant. And so
anytime somebody's surprised, that's
so
the
like
sound.
Yeah, when I'm sitting playing Tears of the Kingdom, I don't even register because I'm like so in that Japanese kind of mindset with it. Like especially like when Ganondorf's lines happen in the game, it's like you can tell that they struggled getting those lines from Japanese to English because like the delivery sounds Japanese because he's all fucking samurai'd out in this game too. You know,
hell yeah,
it's dope.
Well, hopefully I'm gonna roll credits tonight. We'll see.
You're gonna want a lot of Gloom food, a lot of Gloom snacks.
Yeah, I figured that.
Your stamina investment, you might want to retool for hearts. But I will tell you don't need to over prepare. You really don't need to over prepare for the end.
I mean, I'm to the point now with my upgraded armor and the level. Like, I walked up to a King Gleeok and dick slapped him like he was nothing. So I'm not really too worried about it.
If you have the Master Sword, you have the get fucked stick, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Okay, cool. Well,
the
maybe I'll kick his ass tonight.
Is insanely hard though.
I've heard
the walk up is fucking nuts. So yeah, get all your food. Make sure it's all gloom snacks before you go in. I can point you to some good Sunderland farming spots if you don't already have them.
I got
perfect.
Tons.
You will be fine, sir. And yeah, if you'll be streaming that, I don't know, Twitch twitch.tv/hellhero, perhaps.
H3LL H3RO, baby. See me on Twitch.
I'd love to sit and watch that. Great. That wraps this week's episode of the Power Gamer Podcast. We will, of course, be back again next week with another great episode of the Power Gamer Podcast for you to enjoy. I will not be issuing any further 10 out of 10 scores next week. That's a promise. Until next time, I'm Mike Dawson.
And I'm Johnny Pollard.
Tune in next time. I already said next time. Tune in next time. Take care.
Catch you on the flip-flop.
Oh, yeah.